Ariella slammed the door so hard the family portraits rattled on the walls, her mother's venomous words still burning in her ears. "You're nothing but the gay daughter who doesn't belong here." Tears streamed down her face as she collapsed onto the cold New York sidewalk, the city lights blurring into a haze of betrayal. But in that moment of despair, a crumpled envelope from her late father's lawyer slipped from her pocket, whispering promises of secrets that could shatter everything. Ariella Thompson had always felt like a puzzle piece forced into the wrong box. Growing up in the affluent suburbs of Westchester, New York, she navigated a world of manicured lawns and whispered judgments. Her mother, Evelyn, a high-powered real estate mogul, ruled the household with an iron fist wrapped in Southern charm, remnants of her Georgia roots that clashed with the Northeast's brisk pace. Evelyn's expectations were clear: marry well, produce heirs, uphold the family legacy. But Ariella's heart beat to a different rhythm, one that led her to Araya Ramirez, a fiery artist from Brooklyn who painted murals that captured the soul of the city. They met at a gallery opening in Chelsea, where Araya's vibrant canvases exploded with color and emotion. Ariella, then a 25-year-old marketing executive, was drawn to Araya's unapologetic spirit. "Your work feels like freedom," Ariella had said, her voice barely above a whisper amid the chatter of art enthusiasts. Araya turned, her dark eyes sparkling under the gallery lights. "And you look like someone who's been caged too long. Want to break out?" That night, over cheap wine and stolen glances, a spark ignited, one that would challenge everything Ariella knew. But Evelyn's disapproval was swift and unrelenting. "This phase of yours is an embarrassment," she hissed during a tense family dinner, her fork clattering against the china. Ariella's father, Benjamin, a quiet architect who designed sustainable homes, had always been the buffer. He'd smile softly, pat Ariella's hand and say, "Love is love, Evie. Let her be." But Benjamin's health declined rapidly after a cancer diagnosis, leaving Ariella to face her mother's wrath alone. When he passed 6 months ago, the void he left was a chasm. Ariella moved out shortly after, crashing on friends' couches before finding a tiny apartment in Greenwich Village. Araya was her anchor, their relationship blossoming amid late-night walks along the Hudson and whispered dreams of a future together. Yet the shadow of Evelyn loomed. "You'll come crawling back when you realize no one wants a deviant in their family," her mother texted one evening, the words slicing like a knife. The envelope from the lawyer changed the trajectory. It arrived on a crisp autumn morning, the kind where leaves crunched underfoot and the air smelled of possibility. Ariella tore it open in her cluttered kitchen, Araya brewing coffee nearby. "It's from Dad's estate," Ariella murmured, her hands trembling. The will detailed Benjamin's wishes: the family home in Westchester, his architectural firm, and a substantial trust fund, all bequeathed to Ariella with one stipulation. Evelyn could contest it only if she proved Ariella unfit, but Benjamin had included a letter, sealed and personal. "Read it," Araya urged, her hand on Ariella's shoulder. The letter unfolded like a confession. "My dearest Ari, I've watched you suffer under your mother's rigid world. Know that I saw your true self and loved you fiercely. This inheritance is your freedom. Use it to build the life you deserve, with whomever makes your heart sing." Tears blurred the ink as Ariella sobbed, a mix of grief and relief washing over her. Word spread quickly. Evelyn called that afternoon, her voice laced with fury. "This is a mistake. Your father was ill. He didn't mean it." But the lawyer confirmed. The will was ironclad, witnessed and notarized. Ariella felt a surge of empowerment, but doubt crept in. Was this her father's way of forcing reconciliation, or a final act of protection? As weeks passed, the drama escalated. Evelyn rallied relatives, painting Ariella as the rebellious outcast who abandoned family for unnatural choices. Aunt Clara from Chicago sent emails dripping with concern. "Think of the children you'll never have." Cousins unfollowed her on social media. Araya, sensing the strain, pulled Ariella close one night in their bed, the city hum outside a distant lullaby. "We're in this together, mi amor. They can't break us." But cracks appeared. Ariella's job at the marketing firm suffered. Clients whispered about her personal issues. One evening after a grueling day, she snapped at Araya over a trivial argument about dinner plans. "Maybe Mom's right. Maybe I don't belong anywhere." Araya's eyes widened, hurt flashing across her face. Don't let her poison us, Ariella. We're stronger than that. The turning point came at a family gathering Evelyn orchestrated, ostensibly to discuss the estate. Held at the Westchester home, it reeked of manipulation. Ariella arrived with Araya, their hands intertwined defiantly. Evelyn greeted them with a saccharine smile. Welcome home, darling. And your friend. The evening devolved into accusations. Evelyn claimed Benjamin's will was forged, that Ariella had coerced him in his final days. Araya defended fiercely. Mrs. Thompson, love isn't a choice, it's who we are. Evelyn's retort was venomous. And who are you? Some street artist leeching off my daughter. Ariella exploded. Enough. Dad knew me better than you ever did. Storming out, she felt the weight of betrayal. Not just from her mother, but from a family that chose silence over support. In the quiet drive back to the city, Araya whispered, "We can fight this legally if needed." Ariella nodded, but inside turmoil brewed. The inheritance was a double-edged sword. Freedom laced with conflict. As they crossed the Brooklyn Bridge, the city skyline gleaming, Ariella realized this was just the beginning of a battle for her soul. The legal skirmishes began in earnest. Evelyn hired a shark of a lawyer from Manhattan, filing motions to contest the will on grounds of undue influence. Ariella, with her modest savings, turned to a pro bono firm specializing in LGBTQ+ rights. This isn't just about money, her attorney, Ms. Lang, explained over coffee in a bustling midtown cafe. It's about affirming your identity. Araya sat beside her, sketching absent-mindedly on a napkin, portraits of strong women defying odds. Discovery unearthed painful truths. Emails from Evelyn to Benjamin revealed years of arguments. Our daughter's lifestyle will ruin us socially. Benjamin's responses were measured. Evie, she's our child. Support her. Ariella pored over them late at night, the glow of her laptop illuminating her tear-streaked face. He fought for me even then, she told Araya, who held her through the sobs. Amid the chaos, their romance deepened. Weekends escaped to the Hamptons, where they walked hand-in-hand on windswept beaches, sharing dreams. Araya spoke of her Puerto Rican heritage, how her own family had embraced her sexuality with open arms. Mi abuela always said, "Love is the family's glue." Ariella envied that warmth, contrasting it with her fractured home. But betrayal struck from an unexpected quarter. Ariella's childhood friend Sarah, whom she'd confided in since high school, leaked private texts to Evelyn. In them, Ariella vented about her mother's cruelty. Sarah, it turned out, was swayed by Evelyn's promises of a job at her firm. "I thought she was on my side," Ariella whispered to Araya after discovering the deceit via a forwarded email chain. The pain was raw, a dagger to the heart. Araya's response was fire. "Then we'll build our own circle. People who truly see us." They attended pride events in the village, surrounded by allies chanting for equality. One night, under rainbow lights, Araya proposed informally. "Marry me someday when this mess is over?" Ariella's yes was a kiss that sealed their bond, the crowd cheering around them. Evelyn's tactics grew desperate. She appeared on a local news segment, portraying herself as the grieving widow wronged by a wayward daughter. "I just want what's best for the family legacy," she said, tears artfully staged. Social media erupted. Hashtags like Family First clashed with Love is Love. Ariella watched from her apartment, Araya's arms around her. "She's turning this into a spectacle." The courtroom became their arena. On a rainy November day in the Southern District of New York, testimonies unfolded. Evelyn took the stand, her voice quivering. Benjamin was manipulated in his weakness. Ariella's heart ached. Despite everything, this was her mother. When it was her turn, she spoke steadily. "Dad loved me unconditionally. This will honors that." Ms. Lang presented Benjamin's letter, its words echoing in the hushed room. The judge, a stern woman with kind eyes, adjourned for deliberation. Outside, protesters gathered, some for Evelyn's traditional values, others waving flags in support of Ariella and Araya. In the waiting period, emotions peaked. Ariella confronted Evelyn at a neutral coffee shop in Soho. "Why can't you accept me?" she pleaded. Evelyn's facade cracked. "Because I lost your father, and now I'm losing you to this." For a moment, vulnerability shone through, hinting at deeper fears. Araya waited outside, her presence a silent strength. The ruling came swiftly, the will upheld. Evelyn's contest dismissed. Ariella inherited everything, but victory felt hollow. "What now?" she asked Araya as they celebrated quietly over pizza in their apartment. "We rebuild," Araya replied. "On our terms." Yet, whispers of reconciliation lingered. Evelyn sent a terse email. "Congratulations. Perhaps we can talk." Ariella hesitated, the weight of years pressing down. Araya encouraged. "Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means moving forward." As winter blanketed the city, Ariella dove into her father's firm, redesigning it with sustainable, inclusive projects. Araya's art flourished, inspired by their journey. But shadows of doubt remained. Could family wounds truly heal? One evening, a knock at the door revealed Evelyn, looking smaller, defeated. I read your father's letter again." Tears welled. He was right. I was wrong. The admission hung heavy, a bridge tentatively extended. Ariella's response was measured. "It'll take time, Mom." Araya stood by, offering a nod. In that moment, the drama shifted toward tentative hope, emotions raw but real. Healing didn't come overnight. Evelyn's olive branch was fragile, tested by old habits. At their first awkward dinner in a neutral Upper East Side restaurant, she stumbled over pronouns and avoided mentioning Araya directly. "So you're together?" she asked, sipping wine nervously. Ariella nodded firmly. "Yes, Mom. Araya is my partner." Araya smiled graciously. "Pleased to meet you properly, Mrs. Thompson." Conversations delved into the past. Evelyn confessed her own stifled dreams. Marrying young to escape poverty, conforming to societal norms. "I thought I was protecting you," she admitted, voice cracking. Ariella saw glimpses of the woman beneath the armor, a product of her era's prejudices. "Protection shouldn't hurt," Ariella replied softly. Araya played mediator, sharing stories of her family's acceptance. "My parents threw a party when I came out. It was loud, full of love." Evelyn listened, envy flickering in her eyes. Slowly, walls crumbled. Evelyn visited their apartment, admiring Araya's murals. "This one's powerful," she said, pointing to a piece depicting two women embracing amid stormy skies. "It's us," Araya explained. "Through the chaos. Professional lives intertwined." Ariella invited Evelyn to collaborate on a project at the firm, a community center in Brooklyn designed for LGBTQ+ youth. "Dad would have loved this," Ariella said during a site visit, hard hats on amid construction noise. Evelyn nodded, her input surprisingly insightful. "He always dreamed of buildings that heal." But setbacks arose. A relative's wedding excluded Araya, Evelyn initially defending. "It's tradition." Ariella's anger flared. "Tradition that excludes love is no tradition worth keeping." The confrontation led to tears, Evelyn apologizing days later with a handwritten note. "I'm learning. Bear with me." Araya's patience was a balm. Change is messy, but it's happening. Their romance provided solace. Picnics in Central Park, where they fed ducks and planned travels. "Let's go to Puerto Rico," Araya suggested. "Meet my family." The idea thrilled Ariella, a vision of unconditional acceptance. Drama resurfaced when Sarah reappeared, seeking forgiveness. "I was weak. Your mom pressured me." Ariella, hurt anew, confronted her. "Betrayal cuts deep." Araya advised caution. "Hear her out, but guard your heart." The meeting was tense, ending in uneasy truce. "I miss our friendship," Sarah said. Ariella replied. "Prove it with actions." As spring bloomed, so did hope. Evelyn attended a pride parade with them, awkwardly waving a small flag. "This is colorful," she remarked, earning a laugh from Araya. Moments like these built bridges, humanizing the once unyielding matriarch. Yet, internal conflicts lingered. Ariella questioned her inheritance's burden. "Am I honoring Dad or just escaping?" Therapy sessions helped unpack the layers. Grief for Benjamin, resentment toward Evelyn, joy with Araya. "You're building something beautiful," her therapist affirmed. Araya's art show became a milestone. Held in a Soho gallery, it featured pieces inspired by their story. Evelyn arrived unannounced, mingling tentatively. "I'm proud of you both." she whispered to Ariella during the toast. The words, simple yet profound, sparked tears. Highs met lows when Evelyn relapsed into judgment during a family call. What about grandchildren? Ariella hung up, frustrated. Araya consoled. Progress isn't linear. They escaped to the Catskills for a weekend, hiking trails where nature's serenity mirrored their resilient love. Upon return, a surprise. Evelyn volunteered at the community center, organizing events. I want to understand, she explained. Ariella saw genuine effort, a shift from drama to empathy. Their bond strengthened through shared vulnerabilities. Araya opened up about her own past. A toxic ex who mirrored Evelyn's initial disdain. You showed me love could be kind, she told Ariella under starlit skies. As summer approached, plans solidified. A trip to Puerto Rico, Evelyn's tentative inclusion in future holidays. The narrative evolved from conflict to coexistence, laced with romance's gentle persistence. One evening, overlooking the East River, Ariella proposed formally. Will you marry me, Araya? In a world we've fought to claim. Araya's yes was ecstatic. Rings exchanged amid fireworks from a distant festival. Evelyn's reaction? Azitanuk. If it makes you happy. It was progress, human and heartfelt. The wedding planning infused their lives with joy amid lingering tensions. They chose an intimate venue in the Hudson Valley. A rustic barn overlooking rolling hills, symbolizing new beginnings. Araya designed invitations with watercolor motifs, while Ariella handled logistics, her marketing skills shining. Evelyn offered to contribute financially, a gesture Ariella accepted warily. No strings, she stipulated. Evelyn agreed. Just love. Invitations sparked debates. Extended family members grumbled, some declining with excuses. It's against our beliefs, one uncle wrote. Ariella felt the sting, but Araya reminded. Our day is about us, not them. They focused on allies, friends from the village, Araya's boisterous relatives flying in from San Juan. Rehearsals brought laughter and tears. Evelyn practiced her speech, fumbling over inclusive language. I'm getting there, she chuckled. Araya's mother, Maria, arrived early, enveloping everyone in hugs. Familia is familia, she declared, bridging cultures effortlessly. But drama lurked. A tabloid article resurfaced the will contest, sensationalizing. Eris's lesbian love splits family fortune. Evelyn was mortified. I never meant for this. Ariella suspected Sarah's involvement, but proof eluded. Let it go, Araya urged. Karma handles the rest. Emotional depths surfaced during dress fittings. Ariella tried on a simple gown, memories of Benjamin flooding back. He'd walk me down the aisle, she whispered. Evelyn stepped forward. I'd be honored to stand in. The moment was tender, a step toward mending. Araya's bachelorette party in Miami was a whirlwind, beaches, dancing, affirmations of love. Back home, Ariella confided fears. What if Mom reverts? Araya reassured. We've come too far. The wedding day dawned clear, autumn leaves painting the landscape. Guests mingled. Evelyn chatting with Maria, sharing stories of motherhood. Vows exchanged under a floral arch, Ariella's voice steady. You taught me to fight for love. Araya's reply. And you showed me it's worth every battle. Evelyn's toast was poignant. I was blind to what mattered. Today I see clearly, love wins. Applause erupted, healing palpable. Honeymoon in Puerto Rico was paradise. Beaches, family feasts, cultural immersion. Araya's abuela blessed them. Que Dios las bendiga. Ariella felt belonging finally. Post-wedding, life settled into rhythm. They bought a brownstone in Brooklyn, blending styles, Araya's art, Ariella's modern touches. Evelyn visited often, bonding over coffee. Tell me about your day, she'd say, genuinely interested. Professional triumphs followed. The community center opened to fanfare, Evelyn cutting the ribbon. This is for all who feel outcast, Ariella announced. Media covered positively, shifting narratives. Yet human frailties persisted. Evelyn's health scare, a minor heart issue, brought vulnerability. Ariella cared for her, roles reversing. I love you, Mom, she said during recovery. Evelyn replied. And I you, all of you. Araya's pregnancy announcement via surrogate amplified joy. A little one, she beamed. Evelyn's excitement was unfeigned. Grandma duties await. Reflections on the journey deepened. Ariella journaled. From outcast to embraced, love's persistence prevails. Araya added sketches, visual testaments. Challenges remained, societal prejudices, internal doubts, but resilience grew. They advocated publicly, speaking at events about family reconciliation. One anniversary they revisited the Chelsea Gallery. Where it began, Ariella mused. Araya kissed her. And where it continues. Evelyn joined family dinners, traditions evolving. Past the era's congandles, she'd say, embracing fusion. The story's arc, from rejection to redemption, embodied humanity's capacity for change. Love in its myriad forms silenced doubts. Years unfolded like chapters in a well-worn novel. The brownstone echoed with laughter as little Elena toddled about, her curls a blend of Ariella's auburn and Araya's dark waves. The surrogate process had been emotional, but Elena's arrival cemented their family. Evelyn doted shamelessly, spoiling her granddaughter with stories of Benjamin. Your abuelo designed houses like magic, she'd say, eyes misty. Ariella's firm thrived, specializing in inclusive architecture, spaces for all. Araya's art gained acclaim, exhibitions from LA to DC. Their story inspired a memoir, co-authored, Silenced No More. Proceeds funded scholarships for LGBTQ+ youth. Evelyn's transformation was profound. She joined support groups, advocating for parental acceptance. I was wrong, now I make amends, she'd share at meetings. Bonds strengthened. Holidays blended traditions, Thanksgiving with turkey and pastels. Conflicts arose sporadically. A political debate over rights tested patience, but dialogue prevailed. We disagree but we listen, Ariella emphasized. Araya's second pregnancy brought twins, expanding their world. Evelyn moved closer, a granny annex in the works. Family sticks, she declared. Reflections on Benjamin's will grew poignant. It wasn't just money, it was permission to live authentically, Ariella told Elena one bedtime. The letter, framed, hung as a reminder. Community involvement deepened. They hosted fundraisers, fostering connections. Sarah reformed, volunteered occasionally. Forgiveness earned through deeds. As Elena grew, questions about heritage arose. Why did Grandma Evelyn call you outcast? Ariella explained gently. People change when love leads. Araya added. And love always wins. A milestone. Evelyn's 70th birthday bash in Westchester. The home now a shared retreat. Toasts honored growth. From silence to symphony. In quiet moments, Ariella and Araya reaffirmed vows. Through storms, you're my harbor, Ariella whispered. Araya replied. And you're my light. The narrative closed on a humanistic note. Not perfect but profound. Redemption wasn't erasure. It was evolution. In America's tapestry of diversity, their story wove threads of hope, proving love's power to heal divides. Elena's first Pride Parade, perched on Araya's shoulders, symbolized legacy. Evelyn marched beside, flag in hand. For my girls, she beamed. As sun set over the city, Ariella felt peace. The outcast had found belonging, not despite her love, but because of it. Silence broken, hearts mended, humanity affirmed.